All right, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you in this beautiful evening. So फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पहले आप सब बता दीजिए कि सब आ गए हैं ना यहाँ पर. कमेंट कर दीजिए आप. आर यू रेडी फॉर दिस इवेंट? हेलो,
Everyone geeks, comment down fast.
आर यू रेडी? कौन कौन चाहता है वेब डेवलपमेंट?
कमेंट का यार थोड़ा
ओके,
इंटरेक्शन दिखाओ।
नाइस.
You will have two more surprises in this session too. So be ready.
So you all are very most heartily welcome in this beautiful session on Frontend Web Development
Everyone geeks,
organized by
comment
GFG
down
DCE.
fast.
Okay. Are you so, ready? Well, before proceeding ahead, let me give you my introduction first. So, this is Tushar Patodia as technical head in the GFG DCE chapter, and I would like to introduce also my other team leads of this GFG student chapter. So, firstly, Mr. Rishabh Jain as our chairperson of this student chapter, and I would like to request to Mr. Rishabh Jain who are present in this meeting. So, just say two words for the session. I request.
Hello Tushar, hello everyone present there in the meeting. So this is your first webinar by Geeks for Geeks student chapter, and I am your chapter lead Rishabh Jain here. Hope this chapter brings learning benefits to your life and college life and personal life basically. Learning के लिए आयो, learning करो, enjoy करो. We have more surprises in this evening. We have very big announcements to make for you all. सॉरी यार आप लोगों से समय में वीडियो कांटेक्ट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, अपनी वीडियो ऑफ है क्योंकि आई एम ट्रैवलिंग समवेयर, बट यस आई विल ट्राई टू बी विद यू एट द लास्ट, जॉइन यू एट द लास्ट. आपके डाउट्स एंड कुछ होंगे तो मैं पर्सनली ट्राई करूंगा लेने का. टिल देन माय टीम, वेरी टैलेंटेड टीम विल कंटिन्यू दिस इवेंट. थैंक यू एवरीवन.
Okay, fine. So now we have the two vice chairpersons of the student chapter. Firstly, Ms. Prachi for social team, and secondly, Mr. Utkarsh Jha for technical team. And
Hello everyone.
so nice.
Call up your friends too to join the session.
And also we have Mr. Roshan Kashyap as the cybersecurity head of the student chapter as co-host with me in this session. We have two graphics heads from this chapter. They are Mr. Kushagra Singh and Mr. Vinit Bhatt. And we have our next member, Ms. Chandni as a graphics and the content lead. From our social media and marketing team, we have Ms. Meenakshi and Mr. Harsh. So if regarding this session, you have any doubts, if you have any query, then so you are feel free to ask after ending the session. Please make sure don't interrupt in continuing session. I hope you will enjoy this session and you will learn something from this session, right? So I will be you in the throughout the session with Oshank, right? जैसे कि अभी मैंने आपको कहा as I said कि मैं आप सबके साथ जुड़ा रहूँगा, okay? और मेरे साथ ओशांक भी जुड़े रहेंगे because we are the we are hosting this event, okay? So just over to you, Oshank.
सो बिफोर वी बिगिन दिस सेशन हमारे पास आपके लिए एक स्पेशल सरप्राइज है. तो वो सरप्राइज आपको प्राची दीदी यानी कि हमारी वाइस चेयरपर्सन बताएंगी. तो प्राची दीदी प्लीज बताइए इन लोगों को. और हाँ, अगर आप कोई भी इंटरेस्टेड हो तो चैट बॉक्स में या जरूर डाल देना है.
कोई भी डाउट हो चैट बॉक्स में आप डाल सकते हो. ओके,
आर यू गाइस इंटरेस्टेड फॉर द सरप्राइजेस? जल्दी से कमेंट डाउन करो. वी आर लाइव ऑन यूट्यूब आल्सो. जो आपको मीटिंग में ज्वाइन नहीं कर पा रहा, that they can join us on YouTube live.
show your excitement there.
एवरीवन लव्स
Fast.
सरप्राइजेस, राइट?
There will be two surprises. Okay. Okay, so you guys ready? Okay, so the very biggest announcement for today's evening is Geeks for Geeks is coming up with the annual coding contest Auto Run Season 1 exclusively for GFG student chapter campuses, and by this they will be selecting the best performing student chapter for the year 2022 and top coders nationwide. And congratulating you guys as our student chapter is part of Team Denver. So, continuing with the rules of this auto run season 1, there will be two rounds in this contest. The first round will be in Team Denver, and in our team, there will be 12 student chapters, and in total, there are 6 teams. So, the rule is they will be selecting 3 best chapters from each team, and in total, 18 student chapters will be qualified for the second round. The first round is on 27th of November 2022 for our team Denver. So we only have to compete with 12 student chapters in first round. So I guess we can beat this, okay? And the second round will happen on 24th of December 2022. So I guess you should buckle up
Hello,
to
hello, hello, hello,
grab
hello,
this
hello.
opportunity, as it is a lifetime opportunity, and the top coder will be named nationwide and avail the
Hello,
rewards
hello,
for a
hello.
lifetime. So rewards, let's talk about rewards. First position will get Lenovo Yoga tablet. Second position will get Fitbit Verse 3, and third position will get Boss Sound Link speaker. And there are many more hidden prizes in this contest. Okay, so you should participate, and I need registrations from you guys as you are the upcoming engineers, and अभी से शुरू करोगे तो आगे बहुत अच्छा कर पाओगे. And there are a lot of stories related to success, and I know you must be told by your parents, teachers, and other concerning people, but the main thing is you have to console yourself. So you must have heard of the word self motivation, and it's not just a word, it's like whole truth, which should be followed by each individual, and which is hidden in each individual success. So I would love if आप सब इस event में register करो, and each one of you here is a real gem, and I know I will get a good response from my juniors and my mates. Okay, so the student chapter is all yours, and we are here to help you to come up as in bright sunlight for the college and everyone around you. And remember, participation is much more important than winning the competition. So we will participate and give our best. At least participate करोगे तो you guys will get to know about things जो कि बहुत काम देगी in future, and it will add up to your experience too. So this is all about the first surprise, and I think you guys should wait for the second surprise. That is very exciting, and you will get a chance to win some gift vouchers. So be patient till the end of the session. And now, carrying up with the event, uh, I'm overing the session to Oshank. Okay, Oshank, continue.
So we have our guest, Mr. Sorry. Now we are showing a video of Outrun. तो आप लोग देख सकते हैं Outrun के बारे में और जो आपको goodies and prizes जो मिलने वाले हैं. तो फिर get excited यार, कुछ करके दिखाओ.
You can see the prizes here. Okay, so carrying up with the session, let's call our speaker, our guest for today's session, Mr. Ronak Bothra. Ronak, are you there?
Yes, 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 yes. So hello guys, this is Ronak, and yeah, I see a lot of first year students right here in the meeting, and I'm really excited for this front end session which I'll be taking with you guys. So yeah, be excited and just interact with interact with me on the chat, and you can have a small we can have a small conversation or discussion about a particular topic which we'll be discussing in the meeting. All right, so let's start. The thing is, okay, let me introduce myself first. So I am Ronak, a third year BTech CSE undergraduate from DCE, and yes, I have been working as a front end developer in Deep Thought Adventures, and yeah, it's been 2 months, and yeah, learned a lot from that. And also, what about you guys? Like, are you all excited for this event? And I hope like you can respond me in the chat box if you are willing to show your excitement here. And yes. So can we start, Prachi, with the session, or like we can wait for others attendees to join here?
Yeah, let's see their response, how much they are
Okay.
excited for the event. Show
Okay.
up your excitement in the chat box, geeks.
Hello
Ask.
guys, please give reactions in the comment for the welcome of the Mr. Ronak.
So much hi. Hello Aditya. Hello Manju. Hello Pratyush. Hello Khushbu. Hello Vansh.
We
Hello
have
Nikhil.
we have
Hello
one
Harsh.
more surprise, guys. So be patient till
So
the end
GFG
of the
is
session.
GFG is filled with a lot of surprise. So yeah, just wait for that to open. Hello Jatin. Hello Shashikant. Hello Chaman. Wow, cool name. Hello Ritu. Hello Techno White. Nice name. Hello Yashika. Hello Abhishek. Hello Roy. Hello Manju. Hello Lochan. Hello Ayush. I guess a lot of people are responding to the chat. I'm really excited now, seeing the response of everyone,
Yeah, it's
and I
great to
hope
see, really.
exactly how to join GFF. Oh, I guess you mean GFG, right? So I guess GFG members will be able to tell you much better about this. Hello Akshay. Hello Ankit. Good to see a lot of new names here. That's cool. Hello Basant. Hello Prerna. चलो फिर स्टार्ट करते हैं, राइट? हेलो लक्ष्य, and yes, so should we start, or like we can wait for others to join?
Let's start. I guess everyone is much more excited, so we should start, I guess.
Okay, sure. So first of all, I would like to comment some words for the first year guys who are attending this session. So like you are in first year, right? So the thing is, you just moved from school to college, right? So the thing is, first of all, like you were preparing for competitive exams earlier on, right? And you're not having much time to interact with the guys, with with your batchmates and all. You were focused on one thing, but as soon as you move to college, what happens? You get exposure, right? You get exposure, and also a lot of responsibilities will come forward to you, as well as you need to balance everything meanwhile, right? Talking to friends, taking care of studies and everything. So make sure you set aside enough time to enjoy yourself, because you will never be able to relive these days again. Make friends and memories, enjoy to the maximum, while keeping in mind that in the next 4 years you have to you have to question yourself, like where you want to see in the past four, or in the next 4 years, right? So make sure also you take your time to connect and interact with teachers, and get to know about them, and they will be helping you with the projects as well. So yeah, all the best guys, and I hope like you are now pumped up for this session. So yes, let's continue the main event. Next 4 years, right? So make sure
You can
also
ask your
you
doubt in
take your
chat
time
section.
to connect and interact with teachers, and
Everyone.
get to know about them, and yeah, any doubts, like for the first year guys, mainly because they are new to this environment, right? So they must be having some queries, or want to ask some questions. You can drop that in chat box. चलो, अगर किसी के पास क्वेरी नहीं है तो let's, okay, which is better, front end or back end? Do we need to top in first year to join GFG? I guess it's a myth. You don't have to top, but yes, you need to be curious, as well as have that learning attitude with yourself in order to be a part of GFG. I guess. Okay, so let's start. Uh, Prachi, are you sharing the screen, or should I start with?
You can start, Ronak.
Oh, okay, sure, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Hmm, just hold on a moment. Hmm. Hmm. So yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's visible, right? So let's start with the introduction of front-end web development. All right. So what is front-end? Basically, front-end is something which the developer, they present to the user, right? They present the website to the user, and what the user sees in his browser, this is made by the front-end developer. And how it all starts, the root of all the things, right? It actually starts with the web designing. Web designing is basically something like the UI UX designer makes, right? They make Figma files. Okay, what's the difference between front end and UI? UI is basically the prototype, or you can say the wireframes, which the web designer creates. Web There is a difference between web designer and web developer. Okay, so web designer is someone who creates the design, or you can say the basic design elements of the web using the Figma design or Figma files, and and they share that particular thing to the web developer. And what web developer does, they code their particular design using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So there is the difference, like there lies the difference between that, right? So yeah, the front end development, it all starts with having a particular design with you. You have designs, and now you can start with learning HTML at first, and then CSS, and then JavaScript. So I'll elaborate on that in the next slide. So yeah, first of all, let's discuss about this client and server side, and also the web technology stack, what it is, right? So yeah, I guess yeah, this is fully visible to you. Okay. So client side, client is basically the browser, or you can say the user who is accessing the particular web or a website using a particular browser. So they see a website in the browser, right? So what happens in the client side is that they get to see all the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files integrated with each other in the form of a particular website. So they search for an URL, and while and clicking on enter, what they actually do, they see the basic structure of the web, right? And so here it is written, it is a combination of tools such as programming languages, frameworks, and so on that were used while building a mobile or web application. Okay, so web technology stack as a whole can be seen as a tool, right? Tools which are required for making, or you can say for designing, for developing a particular mobile or web application. And in turn, we have this front end and back end connected together, right? So front end is something which is in the client side, and back end is mainly on the server side. So front end is what the user will see, and server side is like the user wants to see some particular information about, you can say, the train status, or while giving a form, they actually submit the form. They actually, what they actually do is like they register on a particular site, right? And what happens is like while clicking on register, the data which gets stored, it gets stored in the backend. And this backend and front end are actually connected with the help of APIs. So you can see in the server side, what we have is web server, right? Server is what which actually collects data from the database, and it sends the response to the client back, right? So this is basic structure of the web technology stack which we have. And backend languages is also there. You can say the examples are Node.js, Express, and everything. So these backend languages are actually helping in fetching the data from databases, as well as interacting with the APIs as well. So let's move on to the third slide. So this third slide is actually what we all see. The users see only the 20% of the total effort which is made in the web. So the main thing which the users are not able to see is the backend part. In backend, there are a lot of things going on, right? The you can say the data models. Using the data models, we create APIs, right? And these APIs actually performs as a bridge of both front end as well as back end. So without the help of API, what we will only have is, you can say, the front end and back end will not get connected, right? And it will be separated. So back end is what the 80% of total effort is, right? And it's repetitive. Why it's repetitive? Because the request and response thing goes on from the backend, right? The client sends a request to the server, and server collects the data from the database, right? And if it finds a particular data from the data, they actually send the response to the client. So this is how the API works. And let me explain you with the help of an example. Is okay, you came to a restaurant, right? Okay, who earns more, front-end developer or back-end developer? It depends, right? Basically, full stack developers earn more than them, but yeah, the earning part is not, actually concerning, because if you have that particular passion in you, you can earn a lot while being a front-end developer, while being a UX designer as well. So if you have got that, unique thing in you, you can earn easily while having everything. So yeah, yes, you can do both. The thing is, like, first of all, you need to, get familiar with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then you need to move on to learn APIs, what actually APIs are, right? And after that, start learning the backend thing. The backend thing is something, you can say, like, it will take a bit of time for you to understand, because it's a bit complicated. And after that, you need to learn about database, how database calls are done, right? And these all. So it will take you a considerable amount of time to learn both. So yeah, let's talk about this API thing. What this API actually does in connecting the backend and front end. So the front end, right? So suppose you have been to a restaurant. Okay, in a restaurant, okay, from where we learned these HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You can learn from YouTube, as well as you can, see the articles of GFG as well, and you can, see the official documentation of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in order to, have a better understanding of these concepts. Uh, Meanwhile, first of all, you need to have a, interest in it. So if you don't get that particular interest in you, you will not be able to, follow. As a fresher, I really don't have any idea, like, from where we should start. Like, I don't know, basic C language. I guess we are talking about this web developing session, right? So in web developing, I don't think C is important, but yeah, you can. After C, you can, do C++ as well as other languages you can explore. So yeah, so, let me focus on this API thing. First of all, this let's take the example of a restaurant. What happens in a restaurant? Uh, you what you see is actually the waiter, right? Waiter gives you the menu. When While you were ordering a food, waiter gives you a menu, and you see that particular menu, and then decide what you want to order, right, as your dish. So you can consider that waiter to be a so yes, if one wish to master only good, you can say, okay, I will be answering this after this session. Okay, you can post your queries, no worries, but yeah, I will be, addressing them after the session. Okay, so yes, okay, let's go with the example. That, yeah, that chef is basically, you can say, the browser, right? The browser is, the chef is actually giving you the options, right? Giving you all the options in order to uh, have a request from your side. Like, yeah, so you particularly as a client are sitting in the restaurant and you want a particular dish. So what happens? You tell that to the chef, and chef goes to the you tell that to the waiter, and the waiter goes to the chef, right? And the chef, using that particular ingredients which are, which are present with him, can make a particular dish, right? And that dish will be served to you. So what is actually happening here? So you are actually you are actually sending a request to the waiter, right? This is what happens in the front end. So front end sends a request, the client side. From the client side, a request is sent to the server. Okay, and you can say the server is, who is the server here? Server is the chef who is making the dish for you, right? And all the ingredients which are present with him and all the necessary stuffs are basically the database, right? These are the elements, right? So using this, what happens is like the server calls a particular database and it retrieves the data from the database. And what happens, it actually the the server collects the data and it sends it to the user, right? The user gets his food and he eats it, right? So that's how the front end back end thing are connected using APIs. So here API is, who is the API? API is a waiter, right? Waiter is being a connection, right? He is becoming the connection of what, the user as well as the chef. So the thing is, the middleman is here, the middleman makes the thing smoother, right? So this, using this API we can have get, post, delete calls, right, in the web. Okay, so what are these calls? We'll be having a different session based on that, if you want to have like a session fully based on APIs or completely on backend. So yeah, this is a short description of API. And API is basically application programming interface, right? An interface which will help the application right, to program itself. So let's move to the fourth slide. Yeah, this is the fourth slide. So here we are we'll be discussing about the front end technology stack. What languages will be requiring for designing or for developing the front end application. So it is basically a visual part of a website, which I already discussed with you. So everything your customers can see or everything your clients are going to see and interact with is basically the solution which you are building using the front end web. So these are the languages you can see: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, as well as React. Using, so React is basically a library which is actually not required now. First of all, the basic elements are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Using that, you can design a you can particularly develop a good website, right? Now coming to the backend technology, like what are the things we will be needing in the backend? So backend things are basically the behind the scene concepts, which is used for the business logic creation. What's business logic creation again? So it's basically the logic. Without the help of backend, the front end will not work, right? The logic gets created in the backend, and this gets created using Django, Python. This is Ruby. Ruby is a language which can be used in backend, and Ruby on Rails. So these for other languages, and also you can use a lot of other languages like MongoDB, ExpressJS, and Node.js as well. Yeah. Yes, I guess someone raised his hand. Harsh, I guess. Yes, if you want to ask any question, you can ask.
Guys, you may drop your doubts in chat box too, or
Ha
you
ha.
may raise your hand.
If anyone raises hand, he can can interact with me and like can ask questions
Yes,
while
yeah,
unmuting
sure,
himself.
sure. You may interact with us.
Sure, sure. Okay. Which development is good for future web or blockchain? Okay, wait, I will address this question for sure in the end. Okay, so yeah, let's move to the sixth slide now. So roles of a web developer. So this is the most important thing, which like you will be wondering what will I get by being a front end developer, what I will achieve, what is the role of this front end developer again, why it's needed, why it's needed in the industry, why the backend developer is needed, why the full stack developer. So the front end developer is basically the one who specializes in the programming of visual user interfaces. What again is visual user interface? UI, right? So the UI thing, yeah. So the UI thing is what, the design, the basic design, which the developer gets, and developer makes that design to action, right? Using the programming languages he particularly shapes the design to which the user can interact with. So this is where the front end developer comes, and the backend developer. What about this? So backend developer is like the one who designs the functional, or you can say he's the heart. He or she is the heart of the particular web developing, right? So if you want to have a proper website, you will have to invest some money for the backend developer guys, because backend developer guys are the ones who are designing the whole logic creation, how the website will run, which page it will lead to, you know, and what response he will get. And this basic logic is performed by the backend developer. Now, who is a full stack developer again? So full stack developer is the one who specializes in both front end as well as back end. This is this field is for those like who has a good skill in both front end as well as back end technologies. And yeah, you can see here that skills are required for both. In case of a full stack developer, what you will do is like you will be creating the whole website by yourself, not the design part, right? You will have to know which page is leading to where, and like the interaction with you can create forms as well, and what the forms will lead to. You can make API calls. Using that API calls, you will be interacting with the database as well. So you need to see what data I am actually getting from the backend from to the front end. So it's a big task, a real hectic task, we can say. So let's move to the seventh slide, which is about the three-tier architecture. I guess it's really important for someone who is starting his path to web development, or you can say starting a career as a web developer, can see. So what happens here is like there is a client side. So this is the client. Client is a browser. Client is a browser. Using this browser, what you are getting in the form of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is a website, right? And in the server, you have this presentation layer, business application layer, and storage layer. So this three layers are, I guess, more important for you guys to understand. First of all, the presentation layer. So this is the layer which is accessible to the client via browser. So the UI components, the developing of the design of what the user will see is basically the presentation layer. This is the topmost part of the three-tier architecture. So these three layers are not basically dependent on each other, you can say. They work independently, and they perform their specific functions. And in this business logic layer, what happens is like you can say this business logic layer is for the ones who is sending the request to the server, right? And this server, the routes, how the data will get accessed. What are routes again? So what happens in the URL, what you write, suppose you write www.google.com, right? And you can also write www.google.com/something. That slash something slash you can say GFG. You write slash GFG, it will provide information about GFG. So that is a route. Route is basically something like which will send a request to the next page, and the next page will get fetched from that route again. So this is where the business logic layer comes in, or you can say the application layer. The application layer is what basically the user's request from the browser, and it processes that particular information, and it connects with the storage layer. Storage layer for the information. It searches for that information in that database, and if it gets found, it will send you back a response. So now let's move to the persistent storage layer. Why the storage layer is needed? So storage layer is basically something, you can say, the data, where the data are stored. It's like a warehouse. You can say it's a factory where all the things are made, and the client, you can say the browser or client is something who are just getting that particular things from the factory. Like there are customers, manufacturers, and everything, right? So they collect their particular utensils, or you can say the objects from a particular factory, right, where all the things are getting made. So that is the persistent storage layer. So the logic knows which database to talk to, and the process of retrieving data becomes more optimized. Why? Logic is something. Logic is what this business logic layer is somehow connected to this storage layer, right? So the logic layer is, it has logic. It has the information of what data it will fetch. So if you want to, if you want uh, to collect, toys, right, games or gaming toys from a particular factory, you will go to that factory itself, right? You'll not search for something related to dairy products in that particular factory. You're getting my point? So yeah, so using this persistent storage layer, what happens, like it uses the third party integrations as well, right? This third party integration is the the calls of API. It has the API thing. API calls are getting, fetched using this storage layer, and all the services, data sources, everything from these all sources, the storage layer collects its information, right? And it gives it back to the presentation layer, you can say, right, as a response. And what the user will see is the information which is, provided by the storage layer. So now let's see the server basics. So server, how the HTML file is getting rendered, right? How the server is, connected in the backend. HTML file is requested by the user. You can see this guy, creates an HTML file, and he hosts that in a particular site, right? He hosts that in his browser. And what internet does is, like, it connects it from the server, and that server fetches that data to the browser, and what the user see is the proper .html file with him. Okay, so internet server computer locates file and response. Yeah, exactly. So what happens, it locates your file where your file actually is in the server, right? And it basically fetches the data and responds it back to you if the file is present. If the file is not present, it will respond you with some request like 404 error not found, you can say, or bad request. And there are a lot of, HTTP methods using that you can have these calls. So now coming to this HTML, hypertext markup language, right? HTML is what it is, the basic building block of any web page. So what happens in HTML is, like, you are creating the, structure of the document, structure of the web document which you are creating. Without the help of HTML, you will not be able to go further, right? You will not be able to access the CSS. CSS is linked to HTML, and JavaScript is indirectly linked to HTML. So HTML is where the root exists, right? So what's the meaning of this hypertext markup language, right? So hypertext is something, it's like, hypertext, you can say, it's not a normal text. You getting my point? It's a hyper. So what do you mean by this hypertext? It's a link, right? It's a link from where you are connecting two or more pages. Like if you click on that particular text, suppose this HTML, let's assume this HTML is some kind of a hypertext itself. So what happens, if I click on this HTML now, I will move to a different web page. I will see a whole different web page. So what it is doing, hypertext is what, how the text is linked to different web pages, right? How they are connected with this hypertext thing. And what is markup? Markup is, you are seeing this angular brackets, right? These are the markup things, right? These are the syntax which are required for the HTML, language to work on. So how the HTML code starts, it starts with the normal HTML thing, correct? And it's not, you can say, like, you can write HTML, it's not case sensitive. You can write in capital letters as well as in small letters. Okay, so in like, you write HTML, first of all, it's at the top of the particular layer, and this is where the HTML document starts with this tag. And using this head tag, what you have is, like, you're defining something at the, like, what you want to fetch, right? What you want to see in this particular HTML file, you can write that on head, right, inside this head thing. So inside this head, we'll have this title. Title is something which you see in the top, not in the top, but you can say this thing, right? Hello world is written here, right? So this is the title. And once you bookmark this page, your okay, so once you bookmark your page, what you see is basically the title of your page, right? So what you write in title will be displayed in at the top, right? So head thing, so this head tag is not displayed in the screen, or you can see in the browser the the head tag is not visible. But what is visible here is the title tag. You will be seeing that in the browser, right? If you write any head. And what is this body thing? Body is where your main structure of the document starts. What the user want to see, what you are going, what you are going to insert in the page, this hello world, right? We're seeing this, how it's getting rendered here in the main structure. Is getting rendered because it is inside this body tag. This body tag is the visual part. It's like the part which the user will see, the main part, where everything related to the development starts here, right? You can say, using this body tag, inside this body tag you will be defining the forms, tables. You can make everything inside this body tag. And what is this beige color doing? Beige color is what is the background color, right? So what happens here is like this hashtag 000, like it will be a new thing for you to understand, right? So this beige color is basically both are in the demand. Okay, so yeah, you can write all your queries in the comment section as well. Yeah. So this bg color is giving the background color as black, right? So body will be having this background color as black. This 00 is for the black color. And this font color this font color hash ff, this are written in the hexadecimal format, right? So you'll be getting familiar with this. So how can we write colors? We can write colors in the form of this, in the form of hexadecimal format, or you can write this red. If you want to see the background as red, you can write like this. And there is also HSL. You can explore that in HSL. You can use that thing as well for coloring. For now, we'll be having this hexadecimal thing as well, right? So what this will do, this will actually provide the background color as black, and this font color is equal to hash. What it's doing, what is this doing? This is turning the font color of hello world as white, right? This is a tag. This is a separate tag which is used to color this hello world as white. And inside this header, this is h1, right? This h1 is for headers. What headers do is you will have headers from h1 till h6 or h7, right? So what happens, h1 is the the largest size. It makes your text a bit large, so the user can see as a the main thing the user will see. So this is h1, or you can write h6 here. What happens if you write h6, this header will get smaller. So what you can see, this hello world will get smaller if you use h6 or h2 h3. So what you can have is something like h1 is the biggest form of text you can have in the header. H2 is a smaller, h3 is a bit smaller, 4 more small, 5 6, it gets smaller, right? While increasing the numbers of headers. And you will have to close it with the font tag. So here the basic structure of HTML will be clear, right, to you guys. And let's move to the next slide. This slide is for the HTML tags. So headings can be given using the header, like h1 h2 up till h6 tags. And what happens here is like, if you see this h1 chapters is written, what is this doing? Like it's making the chapter a big, like more bigger. And h2 is making the sections a bit smaller than chapters, and subsections a bit smaller than that, right? So what is going on? Chapters is getting rendered as a big text, sections a bit smaller than that, subsections a bit more smaller than that. And what is paragraph, right? Paragraph is basically something you can say, it will be able to create a new line. So if you write hello world in the header tag, and after that you write paragraphs, right, it will automatically create a new line for you. For that you can write your new paragraphs. And also you can use line break tag as well. Line break tag is for uh, something like if you want to like you if you want to add some new lines into your paragraph, what you can do is like inside the paragraph tag you will write, suppose this is Ronak, right? And if you want to insert a line break between that thing, right? If you want to see Ronak in the next next you can say the next line, what happens is like you can use the br tag. So paragraph, this is inside the BR tag, right? Line break tag, you can add the Ronak thing. So what happens? It actually moves that Ronak to the next line. And what's this horizontal rule is doing? This horizontal rule is basically for drawing a horizontal line across a page. So what happens if you use this tag? Uh, there will be a single horizontal line which will be displayed in your browser. It will be useful when you want to separate out different sections in your web page, and it will be helpful when you want to see the width and height of a particular thing which you will be including. So using this hr tag, you'll get the information of, yeah, this much section or this much part is needed for this form, for this contact us, right? And using this comment, what happens inside the comment? uh, Comment is basically something like, suppose you wrote something about paragraph. Suppose you are a newbie and you haven't you are not familiar with html. So what happens is like, after writing code, you write comments so that the user who is seeing that particular code gets familiar with what this tag is actually doing. Suppose this guy is new and he sees the code, right? He sees that this is p tag. I don't know what's this p tag. And above this, you write comments, right? You write comments inside this. So suppose if I write, this is the paragraph tag, right? This is a paragraph tag. After this, I write the code of paragraph tag. So what happens? This will not get rendered by the browser, and what the user will get to know from this, yeah, he will get the information of what elements these are. So comments are the most important thing while you are writing code. So while you write code, never forget to write comments with it. So what happens is that user writes code, and after suppose 5 to 6 days, if he sees the code again, he'll eventually forget like what this code is actually doing, why I have used this div tags, why so much nesting is done, what is the use of that. He will get confused himself, right? So using that comments, if he writes that, yeah, this div tag is for this thing, right? This paragraph is for this, right? So after this, like, he will be able to you know recall all of the concepts again easily. So this comment is basically the most important part, I would say. And now coming to the text formatting tags, right? So there are a lot of formatting tags for text, right? Suppose you write a normal text and you want to see that in a different style. You want to see it bold, you want to see it small, you want to make italic, you know you want to make some changes in the text. So these tags will be useful for that. So this bold tag is what it's doing. It's making the text bold. So what you will see here, like, yeah, this is bold, right? So what happens is like, if I use the bold tag inside this text, so it will make the text look like this in the browser, right? It will make the text look like this. And yeah, let's see this big text, right? So it defines big text. What happens with this tag? It makes the text bigger, right? It's similar to, you can say, the header tag, right? H1 actually made your text bigger, right? This is something like that only. And emphasis, this em tag is used for emphasizing the text. What is emphasizing the text? It makes your text look more italic, right? It's something similar to italic, you can say. And I is for italic, small is for small text, strong is for strong. Strong is something similar to bold. So if you have this strong tag inside that html document and you wrote something inside this strong tag, what you will see a text which is bolder, or you can say more bold kind of text, and subscripted text and superscripted text. Suppose you want to write something sort of a chemical formula, chemical compounds formula, H2O, right? And C2H2. So what happens in this, like 2 is written below this HNO. How will you do that in web browser? And how will you provide this thing, to function? So what happens if you write H and use this sub 2 and use this subtag and write O. So what happens is this 2 gets into the subscript. So it will be, smaller in size and it will show below that HNO. So it will look like a chemical compound. So this things is done with the help of this subscript tag. And superscript. What's the use of the superscript? Superscript is basically, suppose you if you want to, provide some mathematical logic. Suppose you want to write the power of, you can say, okay, so you want to write 2 square, right? You have to have it something like this at the top of 2, right? So this superscript tag will help you write that thing. So the power of 2 square is 4. So if you want to, fetch this particular thing to the browser, you will use this superscript tag to make the 2 go a bit up than, the 2 which was used, before that particular superscript tag. Yeah. And this inserted text will, it is like something which will float, like it will float to the browser, right? It will move from, left side to the right side. So this tag is, for use for that. It's not much used, so yes, you can focus on this bold, italic, subscript, superscript, small, big, emphasis. It might be, helpful while you start coding in HTML. And this delete defines deleted text. What's this thing is doing is, suppose like you wrote a text, but you want to, you want the user to see the text, but in the form of something like it's deleted. So it's something like, there will be a cross, you can say a horizontal line, which will cut that particular text, right? So I guess you will be, you can imagine what I'm saying, right? This delete tag will be, showing something which is not required. So suppose you wrote, yeah, this is deleted text, and inside this deleted, you put this delete tag, right? Del. So what happens? The deleted text comes in the cross format, like it will mark this as a cross in the browser. Now, let's come to the HTML links. How the links are, made in HTML, right? So, what happens if you want to make your website dynamic, or if you want to connect more pages to the HTML document or to the home page which you made? If you want to make it, go through a different page, you will have to use the anchor tag. This anchor tag is something like, you can, provide this particular link. Suppose this is whitworth.edu, right? This is a different browser's link, and what you want to do is, like, from your website you want to access this particular website. So this is done with the help of href attribute, right? So what are attributes again? Attributes are something which are given with that, with the tag itself. So inside the tag you will write attributes. Inside the attributes you will be defining the characteristics, or you can say the things which are the things which you want to see. So this href has this particular link inside it. So what the user will see is, like, inside, he will see that go to our school is present in the browser, and while clicking on that go to our school, you'll get to this website, right? And what's this target is equal to slash underscore blank is doing? This blank opens a new browser window. So this is something like, if you use target, it will fetch that particular, link to a different tab. Suppose you click on this go to our school, what happens? uh, it actually fetches that particular website of whitworth.edu in a different tab. It will not get fetched in your same tab, right? And what happens if you use target blank? There are a lot of target methods which are available. Target self is there. Target self will, what happens while you use this particular thing is, like, you click on this go to our school, that particular website will be rendered on your home page. It will not get fetched on a different site. on a different tab, right? So it will be fetched where you clicked it, right? And a name is equal to start is there at anchor on this page. So what this name is actually doing, right? This name is basically you know, connected somehow to the backend thing. So using this name, you can, you know, have a call to the backend. Like backend calls will be done using this start thing, right? They will use this start, you know, to have the information of this anchor thing. And also this same thing, right? My page.html, suppose my page is okay, suppose this mypage.html is my html file which I created, right? And I made different, you know, different tags inside it. Suppose your page is something like a scrollable page you have. So what happens if you scroll, right? It takes a lot of time to, you know, see the particular information which you want to see. So what happens is like you create an anchor tag, right? You click on this go to start button, not a button but a link. So if you click on this particular go to start link, it will move your page automatically to the top. Why? Because you provide this thing in your href, right? And similarly, if you provide, you know, this anchor tag at the bottom, what happens, like if you click if you write this, you know, go to bottom, and inside this href you write mypage.html hashtag, you know, bottom. So it will move your page to the bottom immediately. It will not be so anchor tag is basically, you can say, it can be used to link your same page, link the elements of your same page as well as the different pages. And also about tables, how can we create tables in HTML? So using this table tag, you will be able to define this table, right? So if you want to present a table to the user, inside the table you want to, you know, make the user familiar with the, you know, employee details, you can say. Employee details is you can say, you can assume that employee id is in the first column, salary is in the second column, designation, you know, and all other informations are in different column. It is stored in the form of table. How will you code that? You will code that using this table tag, right? And using the attributes like border, what you can do is like you can, you know, make the table look a bit thicker, right? So what happens, there is an outline of the table which you created, and using this border tag, you can make your, you know, table a bit, you know, look a bit bold, as well as you can modify it according to your wish. So this border is related to the border outline of the particular table. And this tr, what is this tag doing? So this tag will be given inside this table tag, and this will be useful while defining a table row. And this td is what? Td is something which is related to the table data, right? It comes after this table heading. First of all, you create a table row, right? You create a table row. After that, you create a table header. Inside the table header, you write something. Suppose you write employee id, right? This is a particular column. So the employee id will be written inside this th, inside this table header thing. And after that th, you want to show the employee id information, right? So how will you be able to, you know, see that particular thing? If you want to see employee IDs like 1 2 3 4, so th tag will have what employee ID in it. And inside that 1 2 3, how it's getting rendered, it's getting rendered using this td tag. It is used to define the table data, right? The data which will be present in the table. The employee id is there, employee name is there in the table, designation is there, the salary information is there in the table. You will be able to see that using this td tag. So let me take an example. This td tag has id1 in it. So what happens, below the column you see 1, see 2, you see 3, right? So that's how it gets fetched. And this has attributes as well: col span and row span. So col span will can be used for th and td tags, right? Th tag will have col span. So what happens is like it spans your column. It spans your column to somewhat like, suppose if you want to see two columns in a single column. So instead of creating two columns, what you can do is like you can write th col span is equal to 2. What happens? It spans your column to the size of two different columns, right? So using this call span, you can expand your columns, you can expand the size of rows as well, so like it looks more dynamic. And let's see this example. So you are seeing the header tag into function, right? This title will be shown in the browser at the top. This paragraph tag will be, used to see as it is inside the body tag. You will be seeing this paragraph tag at the top of your browser, right? It will be like cast of voices inside that particular page. You will see that. And after that, what happens, you create a table to display that information which you wrote in the paragraph. So you wrote table border is equal to 1. So this makes the table have a particular border with it, right? And inside that you wrote tr. Okay, so tr is for the table rows, and this th is for the table headers. Table header is basically the column. So what you will be seeing here is like character in a particular column, voice talent will be in a different column, right? And there are two columns you will eventually see. So this th tags are taking care of the, top of the columns. Okay, and after that what happens, you create a different row for the table data you want to see in that particular column. So in character column, you want to see the datas of all the characters. So what you can do is like you can write this inside this td tag, right? So inside this td tag, what happens, you will see all the data related to the columns which you gave. And yeah, so this is how the table is made for this particular thing. So it will have how many rows inside it? 5 rows, as there are 5 tr tags inside it. And how many columns? Eventually it will have 2 columns. Don't get confused. Why? Because only 2 th tags is present. Th is basically for the columns. So character is the first column, voice element is the second column, right? About this table when you're able to understand. Okay, let me show you this as an output. Like um, I had to go to a different screen then. Okay, I will show this later on, right? We'll make sure. So what about this list thing? So this list is basically used to display marked list of items, right? So what happens, if you want to see a particular list, particular order, right? Suppose you want to see the data of, prices of all the vegetables. So what happens, using this unordered list, you can create a particular, a dotted thing, or a circle, so that it makes your text a bit highlighted and you can see that in unordered list. And using this ul tag and li, what happens is like, you can, inside this ul tag you can write the list items, what list items you want to see inside this. So suppose you want to see uh, like the name of all the movies in a particular list. So you can write ul, right? And inside this list items, you can define that name of the movies and you can close that ul tags. So it will display you the list in an unordered format. Why it's unordered? Unordered because it will have that circle before that, and you can say square format and all the shapes which you will be seeing before the text which you wrote. An ordered list is like something which your data will be seeing, your data will be get rendered ordered wise, 1 2 3, right? A B C D E, a proper ordered format of list will be shown with the help of this ordered list. And what about this definition list? Definition list is like it creates the same, right? It's basically it's basically you can use that definition list instead of this ordered and unordered list, right? It's an alternative for this. And now let's take this example here. Like this conferences is there, right? Inside this conferences, you want to see NFC East and NFC North, uh, in a form of a particular list, right? In the form of a particular unordered list, what you will have is like something sort of, after this conferences you will see NFC list and NFC North in a particular ordered format. And in the standings, what you will see, you can see this unordered list thing get started, right? So NFC East will be in a dotted bulleted form, and inside this ordered list is given. So by default, ordered list is taking the numerical thing, right? NY Giants, Philadelphia, Dallas, Washington are present in the form of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see this NFC is has a proper structured way of showing the information to the user. The user will be seeing this in a proper format. And after this another list gets closed, you are creating this DL tags, right? So DT is what? DT is you can see in the previous slide what DT is for. DT is for dictionary term. So it's like you write X and what its definition is. Like you wrote clinched playoff. So it's basically making a format where you can see two information in the same row, right? In a good format. So it will be easier for the user to understand why X is here, right? Why Z is for, what star is for, right? They will get the information on this thing. And how can you know see the images? How can you see the image rendered, getting rendered in the website using this img tag, right? Text is boring, images make a website more interesting. Why? Obviously, without the use of images, what happens? Your website will look very dull, right? It will show you the information which will be like not more user friendly. So using this img tag, what happens? you write you write the link, right? You can provide that link of image inside this URL, inside this src tag. So src tag is something sort of href tag which you used with the anchor tag, right? Is something similar to that. And alt tag is there. What alt tag will do, like it's not a tag but it is an attribute. uh, just don't get confused with tags and attributes. Tags are something which are written inside this angular brackets, and what extra information you have with that particular tag is basically the attribute. So attribute is basically the design elements, or you can say the things which will modify that particular tag. So src is used for providing the url of the image. You can provide the uh, you can say the url of that image, and also you can say that this alt tag is for text only. So what happens if your image is not getting rendered in the browser, right? If it is not getting rendered, so you will have to make the users see something, right? So you can write inside this alt tag error not found. So what happens if the image doesn't get loaded? It will show you the error not found thing, right? And if the image gets loaded, this alt tag will not work. So alt is like the alternative. If the image doesn't get loaded, it will show you the text. Go on to this slide. So you can see this example. This example has unordered list, right? Inside this list items, you will have this img src nfc.gf. So this is an image, right? This is an image which will be shown inside that particular list, right? So there will be a list where you can say the nfc's banner is shown, and below that you'll have that information of nfc, and there is another list again. So what you have is like a proper structured format of the particular banner, what this banner is saying, or you can see like the user will be able to get the information with the help of images, right? And this li tag is for having multiple for different images we use different li tags, right? So inside this list item, what happens, we created a different src file. You can also use alt here, right? How can we use alt? Like this, error image doesn't exist. You can use something like that. What happens if the image doesn't get loaded? It will show you this text in the in as a replace of this image file. Also you have the standings. This standings, what it will do is like it will show all the images, right, related to the standings. And what you are seeing here, ampersand nbsp colon semicolon, you can search this in google. What happens is like this will provide you something like this, ampersand nbsp. So yeah, so you can see this information in google, like ampersand, what this ampersand nbsp is doing, right? And what the use of this. So let's move to the next slide. I hope that you're following me. Like I actually, took a lot of time.
Guys,
So
you
yes,
may interact with our speaker.
yes, yes. Also, you can interact with me, like if you have any doubts. Also, there was a comment related to the output. I'll be showing this as an output as well. After we have sufficient time with us. So HTML div tag. What's this div tag for? This div tag is for something like you know you want to create a proper structure, right? Proper structure of the document. Like if you want to see a header at the top, right, and section at the middle and footer at the bottom of your website, what happens? You will have to present that in a format that the the one who is writing the code will be able to get it. Yeah, this is the header, this is the footer, and this is the section page, right? So using this div tag, you are making a container, right? What's this container is going to do? This container is like it's making a hypothetical container so that the user understands, like, yeah, this is for the header thing, this is for the section thing, this is for the main part, this is for the about us page, right? So a particular, you can say a structure, a well-defined structure is given inside this div tag, and div tag has attributes like align and class, right? So align, what is the use of this align tag? This align tag is used to format your particular document to left, center, right, and justify, right? So left will be like it's by default. Every text will be shown in the left hand side. So if you want your text to move to the center, you can write div align is equal to center. Inside the div tag, you write your text inside the paragraphs, right? Using that paragraph, you wrote your particular text, and you want to center align the text. You can use that tag. You can use this align attribute. You want to align to the right, you can do that also. And what is the use of this class tag? What is the use of this class tag is not the class tag, the class attribute. I'm sorry. When we learn CSS, styles can be applied to div. So using this class tag, what we can do is like suppose this is a div, right? Div class is equal to, you wrote what you wrote? You wrote something like iron. Okay, you wrote iron. Inside this, you made a paragraph. This is iron. Okay, and you want to style it in CSS. So how the CSS will get to know ki I have to provide stylings to this particular tag only. I need to provide stylings to this is iron only. So this will be done with the help of this class thing, right? This class thing is basically where the styles can be applied to the CSS. So CSS is like it will have, like, you will have internal CSS, external CSS, as well as inline CSS with you. So in the CSS, how the CSS will get to know about the HTML tags? It's using this class tag. So in CSS, what you will write is like using dot operator, you will write this iron dot iron, and inside this curly braces, what you will do, you will provide the information, you provide the stylings, BG color is equal to red and everything. So this will make the CSS understand that, yeah, this is related to this tag only. So for now, it isn't much help. So we'll be discussing this. We'll be discussing this in the CSS section. So yeah, let's move to the next slide, which is a 20th slide. So this slide is for understanding of how the div tags are basically used. So you can see here that inside this body tag, you create a paragraph, right? You create a paragraph of cast of voices, and you want to align this particular thing in the left hand side. So what you have is like there is a table which will get created. Character and voice line will be the two columns you will be having in the table, and it will be aligned to the left. And div align is equal to center for the next table, right? So what is going on here? So div tag is basically separating the first table from the second table, and it's separating the second table with the third table. So it's like a proper alignment you will be having. If you don't include this div tag with you now, what happens is like you are unable to decide that which table is for which column, and which table is for you know if you want to add stylings, right? If you want to add stylings to this particular table only, so you can write div align is equal to left, and class is equal to something, you make a class name character, right? you make a class name character, and inside this CSS document, what you can do is like you can call this dot character thing, and inside that you can write the stylings. So it will separate this particular two tables from the first table, right? Only the first table will have design and colors of the CSS, right? Instead of having all the tables as with the same color. So you can also provide div here. You can provide as many div as you want. This is basically used to make a proper structure. So if you want to make div class equal to whole table, right, and you can close this tag after this here, right? So what happens here is like when you write that CSS function, right, that dot whole table, you provide the stylings. So it will provide the stylings to all the three tables. Why? Because this div tag is for the whole table, right? It's taking this is taking consideration the whole three tables with it, and the stylings are provided with itself. So let's move to the forms, how the forms are written. And you will be having a basic overview of how forms are created. The forms are created using this form tag, and many internet application requires user input. Search engine pages have this form, right? Form structure, customer support thing. If you want to provide customer with a particular form, right? So customer writes that information, he writes feedbacks in that form only. In blogs, you have about us, you have newsletter thing where the user writes his you know email address and send it to the uh, you know the server, right? So how this is getting created, this is getting created inside this form tag. And attributes it has is name. Name is related to the backend, right? You can make calls to the server, or you can say the server will connect this particular form thing with the help of this name attribute. And action, there's method, and there is id as well. So form id is basically separating the form with the css file. So suppose there are two things in the css file. What are the two things which make the css document interact with the html document? It's that id, and it's a class. So form can have id as well as class, right? Both are related, both are linked to the css files, right? And there are a lot of form methods which you can call, right? Suppose this is a form input methods, form input objects. Using this input tag, what you can do is like you can write the inputs, right? You can write like suppose you want name to be seen as an input, like you want to collect that input from the user, right, from the user side. So using this input tag, you can collect that, right? You can have this thing inside this. And input has type, attribute, name, value, right, id attributes. You can explore this form thing while taking this time into consideration. uh, I can't explain all of the stuffs to you, right? I'm just providing you the basic information of like how the forms will be created. It will be created using form tag. Inside that form tag, you will be having the input tag, right? And what this input tag will be doing, it will be collecting the information from the client, right? And yes, you will be having this submit button, right? Type attribute specifies a kind of input object, like submit, text area, checkbox. Right? You will be having different tags, right? For submit, you'll be having like input type is equal to submit, input type is equal to text. If you write input type is equal to text, what happens? The user will be able to write only the text format, right? If you write input type is equal to checkbox, so he will get a checkbox, right? Input type is equal to radio, he will get a radio button with it, right? So input type is equal to submit, but there will be a submit button present in the form. So these are the attributes, uh, you know, which are basically used with the input tag as well. So let's see this search engine page, like simple form for how the search engine page works. Like search the internet. This is the title. Inside the body, you have this internet search page, and inside this form, you are writing search for. And after that, you write input type is equal to text, name is equal to you. Q is different, right? It will be related to backend, which I actually told you. So type is equal to text will be something like after the search for, you'll be having a box, a small box where user will type the information. There will be a text box, right, where the user will write, yeah, I want to see information about GFG. So he will write about GFG, and inside, and he creates a submit button, and the coder creates a submit button, so that what happens, like, inside value, okay, what, someone is calling. Wait,
Guys, please be on
just wait
standby.
for a moment.
Yes.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, कैसा लगा आपको? कमेंट कीजिए.
Guys, you have to interact via mic or chat.
Come on, each and everyone.
Tushar, we have
You
chat.
will get certificates too for this session. Okay. सो बी पेशेंट एंड एक और सरप्राइज वेट कर रहा है आपके लिए. उसमें आप कुछ गिफ्ट वाउचर फ्रॉम GFG भी जीतोगे. सो बी पेशेंट एंड स्टे टिल लास्ट ऑफ द सेशन. ओके. अब तक के कोई भी डाउट्स है ना, आप वो चैट सेक्शन में डाल सकते हो, या फिर हैंड रेज करके इफ यू वांट टू टॉक विद आवर स्पीकर यू कैन डू सो टू. ओके.
Yeah. So, taking the time to consideration, like, we'll end this session with the information of form into mind. We will have a different session, you can say, for CSS if you want. Like, if you found this session interactive, or you can say, you found the explanation on point, or you can say you got to know about HTML. You can write that in comment box if you want a separate session for CSS as well. So yes, and also, if you want to present your, any queries, right? You can write that in chat box. So yeah, like, I took a lot of time while making you familiar with the HTML thing as well. So yeah. So first of all, okay, thinking about project. Where is the first question? The first question is, it is. Okay.
Friends, hello.
Okay.
You-
Well, yes, Tushar, you can go on.
I want to announce one thing to all of you, that if you have any doubt and query, so you can ask to Ronak sir one by one to just on your mic. Okay, don't interrupt. One by
You
one.
can call me Ronak. Not sir is not needed, right? I'm just one of you. Like, yeah, I'm not any sir or bhaiya. Like, you can call me Ronak. Just it. Yeah.
Ronak, bhaiya,
Um.
one question is, while thinking about projects, what things should we keep in mind?
Okay, first of all, basically, you need to know why you are creating that project, right? You're creating that project for hackathon, or for business model, or for your resume. So you need to develop some skills while creating the project. Suppose you want to create a project for, um, you can say, blockchain, right? Blockchain, someone address that blockchain thing, right? So yeah, I guess this will help him or her to understand the things better. So. What happens if you want to create a blockchain project? You will have to know the roadmap of what you have to learn before creating that blockchain project. What, like, where are you actually? Like, you know about front end, but you don't know about back end, and you don't know about how to create, you know, what you can say, like NFT tokens and all, right? So these things should be kept in your mind before creating a project, like where you actually are and where you want to see. Do you want to see as a blockchain developer? You can, have that project as well as career going parallelly, right? So if you want to create a project on AI, you will ask question, why I'm going to create this project. First question will be why, and what I will achieve by creating this project, and where it will be, like, used. Like, where is this project getting used? Is it useful, or is it something which is common, which everyone is making? Like, so project will be something, you can create a project related to society, right? something which will be beneficial for the society, right? Something which is like help, which will help us in our daily needs, which will help us make things get a bit simpler. So make a project based on that. Like there are a lot of projects you can see in you know different hackathons, right? Smart India hackathon has a lot of ideas in it. You can make projects using that as well, you know. You can have your idea and create abstract and just start on, working on project. You, before working on a project, first decide like you want a team with you, or like, or you just want a individual, normal individual, like single you are working on it. So yeah, just decide that before.
There is another question, Ronak Bhaiya.
Yeah.
What is the future that you see for the field or sector of web development?
In front end or like
In
what?
web development as a whole, front end, back end, full
As a
stack.
whole, okay. So mostly the what I will say here is like careers you can make, you can go big while having the thing as like, you can say that if you have that particular interest in you, you can go big, right? You can do any kind of development. You can be a normal UX designer and can be world famous with your design. So money is related to your, not your skills, but how you innovate, how your innovation ideas are there, right? With that skill, suppose you are familiar with only HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but you created something which is just, remarkable, which is really innovative with that only. So you'll be paid more by a freelancer, or by a developer, or by being as an intern, right? You will provide them ideas. So yeah, that depends. And basically what happens, key the blockchain technology, right? The blockchain technology is booming nowadays, right? Cyber security, blockchain. So after you become a full stack developer, if you aspire to, pursue a career as a web developer, don't be only a front end and back end developer. Be have a target of, being a full stack developer. If you have that target, you will be able to, achieve the milestone of being a front end developer. Think big, right? If you want to be a blockchain developer, start with, you know the front end, then back end, then being a full stack developer, then you know about tokens and all. After that, you learn new programming language and can move to blockchain, and you can see that. So you have to be consistent as well while creating a project, while having a career in some, field. Just be consistent and just have interest with you, right? If you don't have interest, you will be unable to continue further. You will just stop at a particular time. So yes. Any more questions? Yes, Aditya, like if you want a proper course, like proper structured course, you can, buy a course from a particular website, or you can, search that concept, or, for free in YouTube as well. But yeah, that doesn't matter. Basically, what happens is like if you're having a paid course, you'll get guidance. There will be something which will not make you stop. There will be, test quizzes, right? And also contest will be there, like in a paid course, which you will not get in a free course, right? So that will basically help the, you know developer, or you can say, to have a proper, time schedule, you can say. So time management thing comes here into picture. If you don't have that time management thing with you, right? You are not, clear with your timetable. You're just, doing things randomly. You're not consistent. So this, paid courses will help you, get track of it, right? Or if you're, very well versed with everything, right? You are, what you are going to do today. You have that thing, you note it all down before the day starts, right? You write today's work yesterday. Yeah, I am doing this, I am going to do this tomorrow. I am having these milestones to be completed tomorrow. If you have that kind of thing, you can follow any course. You can just read articles. I will say, you just read articles, perform quizzes. Just you will have to, be consistent, because no one is there to guide you here in the free courses. So yeah, that's the difference between free and paid courses. Any more questions?
I guess they're clear with their doubts. So I think
Okay.
we proceed.
Okay, sure, sure, sure.
Tushar, please proceed the session. I guess you're on mute, Tushar.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, मैं चाहूँगा कि एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ जो है अपने रिएक्शंस के साथ चैट में रौनक भाई को थैंक्स कहेंगे कि थैंक यू सो मच वेरी रौनक भाई फॉर टेकिंग आउट योर वैल्यूएबल टाइम टू गिव दिस सेशन. सो फ्रेंड्स, हाउ डिड यू लाइक दिस सेशन? प्लीज़ कमेंट ऑन द चैट. प्लीज़ चार चांद लगाइए हमारे सेशन को. चैट्स में रिएक्शन सेंड कीजिए. कम ऑन ईच एंड एवरी वन. आई नीड योर रिस्पॉन्स इन द चैट.
एंड
देन
में
आई
छोड़ के मत चला जाना कोई भी.
देन आई प्रोसीड फर्दर फॉर द सरप्राइज. देयर इज नो.
सरप्राइज के लिए एक्साइटेड हो geeks? Everyone.
ओके, ग्रेट. आ रहे हैं मैसेजेस नाउ.
Ar- Aryan, I'm not ma'am. I'm your senior. You may call me Prachi or anything.
Okay, nice, great. So now I would like to invite our teammate, Mr. Kushag Singh. He will reveal that surprise as a Kushag.
Hello, hello. Am I audible?
Please proceed further.
Hello, हेलो गाइस, कैसे हो? मतलब ओरिएंटेशन के टाइम पे देखा होगा, हमने क्विज खेले थे. मजा आया था सबको. गाइस रिप्लाई, मजा आया था ओरिएंटेशन में क्विज खेलने में. आया था मजा.
कोई है?
एक अभी इतना अच्छा सेशन दिया है रौनक भैया ने, तो इस पे भी एक क्विज होना चाहिए ना. तो पता चल जाएगा तुमने कितना ध्यान से सुना, कितना अच्छा सीखा. एंड एक क्विक टेस्ट हो जाएगा, ताकि आज का पढ़ा आज ही जान जाओ कि कितना आ गया. ठीक है. डाउट्स होंगे फिर, रौनक भी अभी बैठे हैं ना, बाद में मिले ना मिले. ठीक है. तो गेट रेडी विद योर फोन. आप सबको याद होगा, नहीं होगा तो मैं दोबारा बता देता हूँ. www.menti.com पे आप सबको गूगल पे ओपन करना है. मैं चैट बॉक्स में ड्रॉप कर रहा हूँ, सो प्लीज़ अभी कोई चैट बॉक्स में कुछ मत लिखो, ताकि वो कोड और डिटेल्स ऊपर ना चली जाए. www.menti.com.
If you face an issue, you may raise your hand or you can speak it up.
यस. इफ़ यू आर सीन द लिंक, अब आप चैट बॉक्स में लिख सकते हो, कोई डाउट है या कुछ है. जब आप तैयार हो एक बार येस प्लीज़ लिख देना सब, ताकि मैं कोड शेयर कर पाऊँ. एंड जो जो पहुँच गए हैं उनके लिए मैं कोड भी ड्रॉप कर देता हूँ. Yes, yes, cool. Okay, wait. This is the code 25285237. Try not to switch your browser again and again, because it may lead you to quit the game automatically. आप कोड देख लीजिए, लॉग इन करके वहाँ वेट कीजिए. I may repeat the code 25285237. Yeah, 6. Okay. आई थिंक स्क्रीन शेयर करना अच्छा नहीं होगा, क्या पता आंसर्स दिख जाए. हाँ, yes, yes, yes. Just give me a second, I will do. Is my screen visible? Okay. So the code is 25285237. Are you guys ready? Okay, I'm starting with the quiz. Prachiti, should I proceed?
Yeah, yeah, sure. All the best, everyone.
Okay, okay, wait. The correct sequence of HTML tags for starting a web page is
Jaldi, guys.
9 seconds.
8, 7, 6, and 3, 2, 1. Yeah,
Time's
thanks.
up. सिर्फ 8 लोगों ने सेशन ध्यान से सुना है. Not an issue, guys. Not an issue. We have questions.
Pulkit Sharma is leading. Great.
Let's proceed to the next question. Which of the following element is responsible for making the text bold in HTML?
This one is quite easy. I think many of you will answer it correctly.
अगर ऑप्शंस को देख के कंफ्यूज हो जाओ तो बात अलग है. बहुत सिंपल है. भैया ने बताया भी था, करके भी दिखाया था.
Thanks, sir. Yeah.
Yes. Great. Pulkit Sharma is still leading in the leaderboard. Guys, सबको स्क्रीन दिख रही होगी. बस कुछ पॉइंट से पीछे हो.
Pulkit can make it, I
I,
guess.
yes, I also think so.
How to insert an image in HTML?
Utkarsh, your mic is on. Okay. फिर तो बच्चों को क्या ही बोलना जब तुमने ही गलत किया है तो. Pulkit is still leading. Next question is, which of the following is the correct way of creating an hyperlink in HTML? Okay, यहाँ पे options बहुत अजीब से दिख रहे होंगे बट आपकी स्क्रीन पे सही दिख रहे होंगे. Guys, syntax का ही खेल है. Okay, nice. Let's see पुलकित अभी भी लीडर बोर्ड में ऊपर है कि नहीं. Yes.
Pulkit.
Pulkit Sharma is still in the leaderboard. Last question. Pulkit, beyond that, top. How to add a background color in HTML?
This question is chance for everyone to come up in the leaderboard.
Maximum of you has guessed the right answer. Let's see. Pulkit अभी भी leaderboard में top पे है कि नहीं?
Yeah, Pulkit is on the top.
Yes. Pulkit, congratulations. Not bad, Utkarsh. Lochin was the second runner-up, and Arsh_01 was the third. I think so. No, Omi was the second runner-up. ग्रेट गेम गाइस, ग्रेट गेम, बहुत अच्छा आंसर दिया, कुछ गलत किए बट मैक्सिमम लोगों ने सही किया। अभी किसी को कोई डाउट आया है गलत कर करके? कुछ तो होगा, तुमने गलत पढ़ा होगा। हाँ गाइस, चैट बॉक्स इज ऑल योर्स। 8th पोजीशन टू सेकंड, नाइस। क्विज में क्विज कैसा रहा, मजा आया? लिखो गाइस चैट बॉक्स में, मजा आया? एक ही को आया? अच्छा आया, सबको आया, सबको आया, ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। नाइस नाइस। नाउ विल
Ankit
आस्क
wants it once more.
वंस मोर।
Yeah.
तुषार भैया से पूछा जाए, तुषार भैया।
हाँ।
And everyone has to participate in Auto Run Season 1. And our team is Denver. Remember that.
Okay, till we move further, I would like to tell you about Otteran. Okay, so you guys will be shared a link, and what you have to do, you have to go to GFG Geeks for Geeks and make your account there. And in the institute section, you have to enter your college. Okay, Dronacharya College of Engineering. So when you give any contest on Geek for Geeks, where you can compete with students from all around India, and not just private institutions, students from premier institutes like Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, Bombay, Triple IT Hyderabad, and all those institutions which students from all these institutions participate in the contests organized by Geeks for Geeks. So you guys need to go to the Geeks for Geeks website and create your IDs there. Let me show you how you can do that. Just a second. Is my screen visible to everyone? Is my screen visible, Kushag?
Yes, yes, yes.
So what you have to do is go to Geeks for Geeks, and then you have to sign up here. Okay, I'll just log out just to show you how you're gonna do that. Go to sign up section, use Google account or whatever way you want to sign up. We will share you a link of the team Denver one. We'll share you the link. For example, if I want to sign up with a random email address, I select an email address. It will verify me. Select your institute. You need to type in Drona. Okay, you'll get it, Dronacharya College of Engineering, Gurgaon. Please select the Gurgaon version because that is your correct institute. Do not select the Greater Noida one because you're not from DGIN, you're from DCE. Okay, so select Dronacharya College of Engineering and you'll be signed in. Okay, then we're going to share you the link. With the same account, you have to click on the link. With the same account, you have to log in and then register for the contest. Once you're registered for the contest, take a screenshot and put it inside the group. We'll surely respond. Please, can you share this thing? You have to share this thing with all your friends and all your classmates because these kinds of event give you a lot of exposure, and not just this particular event. You can solve different types of questions from all these different subjects and topics like DSA algorithms, and you can also specifically visit the interview preparation section. You can explore questions which are there. You can explore C++ and learn entire language on this site, Geeks for Geeks. It is an excellent platform for you students and for all the students, not just to explore programming languages, also to brush up our skills and be interview and placement ready. Thank you.
So, proceeding with the session,
Uh,
Tushar will proceed.
just a second,
Sorry,
Prajali.
Kushagra will proceed. Yeah, yeah.
हेलो. सो गाइस, फाइनली अनाउंस कर देते हैं. पुलकित शर्मा, who is the first runner up of this quiz, will get a coupon of 1,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees, which he can redeem at GFG to avail a course. And the second runner up, Omi, will get a coupon of 800 for the same purpose. Congratulations, guys. Are you here? Please respond in chat box.
Omi and Pulkit, big congratulations to you guys.
And also all those students who uh, won the quiz which we organized during the orientation sessions. Your prizes and your t-shirts and all will be given to you offline itself in your inside your class, and your pictures will be posted on GFG social media account. We are very sorry for the delay in that particular thing, but surely you will receive your t-shirts and all your coupons. And I've also shared the link of auto-run contest in all your GFG groups in whichever you're joined in. Please register and please remember to select that your institution. Okay, and after you're done registering in the contest, you can take a screenshot and put it in your respective WhatsApp groups. Thank you.
Pulkit and Omi, I would like to request you to please drop your roll numbers in the chat section. Okay, this is Omi and Pulkit. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Tushavya, you can continue.
Friends, how did you like this quiz? Tell me. कैसे लगी आपको ये सब क्विज? मजा आया आपको? इंटरेस्टिंग, नाइस, एक्सीलेंट. कुछ सीखा फिर आपने क्विज से? आई होप everyone enjoyed this quiz, right? Or this event also. So friends, and we will see you forward in further events of your student chapter DCE. We will meet you soon in the auto run event. And please keep remember in your mind one thing: we are team Denver. Okay, हमारी टीम डेनवर है, इसको याद रखना आप. So be ready and prepare.
We have to give our best, remember this. At least
Yeah.
we will participate, okay?
So
So we will meet you soon.
thanks to all of you. थैंक्स टू ऑल ऑफ यू कि आप सब यहाँ पर आए. एक बार ना एक काम और कीजिए आप, कुशाग.
Yeah, Kushagra shared the screen. We are Team Denver, remember, okay? And we have to participate in this. I need registrations from you guys. These are the prizes, okay? And there are many hidden prizes too. Anyone? Any doubt? Geeks? Yeah, yeah. You will get your certificate soon for the session. Obviously, you have attended on your email IDs. Where you have, where I have, from where
From
I
where
have
I
to.
have to start to become a web developer.
First, start seeing what is website, what is web server. Start from basics, then go for front end, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript. You will get a proper path for yourself.
Anyone else any doubt, please drop in chat box.
Our speaker is also here only. You may talk to him if you want to.
Yeah, guys, like if you have any doubts, you can ask me, and yes, I will be addressing them as well.
I hope everyone has enjoyed today's session.
I don't think so personally, but yeah, if you guys enjoyed, then like it made my day. Like, right, best tools. What actually do you mean by tools? Like you asking about text editors or like sources from where you can learn web development? Thank you, Khushbu. Like,
I guess Roy is asking
yes.
for uh,
Huh.
best tools which are in demand.
Tools
Maybe
for development.
text editors.
Okay, so you can use VS Code while writing any code, right? If you want to write codes in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? And if you want to use that for C++, C, it is there, right? If you want to, you can also run the code of Flutter, right? You can use it for web as well as app development. VS Code is like multifunctionality code editor, so I guess like you can see that, you can set up that code editor using while watching that video, YouTube video, right? There are a lot of videos while having a setup of this VS Code. So yes, you can see that and you can set up that in your computer and just code in that VS Code. So Ankit is asking, do we have to take any extra course in college? Is college is enough for it? Extra course, yes. So basically, don't depend directly on college, I will say, because college will be providing you with the stuffs which is related to the, you can say, the board, right? Uh, what you like, you will get to know about theoretical subjects, right? Basically, so if you want to know about what is going on in the industry, you need to have a good exposure, right? Good exposure of like web development, app development, which they will not teach you, right? You will have to do it by yourself. So yes, I guess you can take courses or you can watch videos on YouTube. You can see the roadmaps, while starting any course, and you can do whatever you want after that. Like React JS. Okay, I got your question, Roy. So yes, frameworks are necessary. So what happens is like if you are coding with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, writing CSS code now, it becomes a bit lengthy as well as a hectic task. If you are working on a very big project, you'll have to write tons of CSS code, right? To make it shorter, to make it better, you use a framework of Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is basically, it makes your code simpler. You can write the Bootstrap code within the HTML, so it actually shortens the length of the CSS code. So yes, I guess Bootstrap can be used, and React.js, after you learn JS completely, you can shift to React.js as well. React.js is something like, it will be, making that code much shorter and much organized form. So if you are working on big projects, you are having some complicated things to do in a website, use React.js, and I will suggest you to learn it after you learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript completely. And also, concepts of Bootstrap is needed. You can learn, um, this Notepad is also there. Yes, you can write code in Notepad also. You can write code anywhere you want. But if you want to have a proper organized format of all the codes, right, you can use a text editor like VS Code, like Atom, and there are a lot more. Like if you want to code in Java, you can use IntelliSense IDE, right? And also, I forgot about, there was a code editor. Okay, and if you want to, code in Python, you can use Jupyter Notebook as well as Anaconda. These two will be, very useful while writing machine learning as well as artificial intelligence codes. And yeah, I guess, Roy, I answered your question. Or like, was it sufficient, or like, do you wanted something more about it? Know more about this. So what is preferable, online teaching classes or offline? I guess teaching classes, why teaching classes is needed? You can learn everything by yourself now. So I will suggest, if you are taking a paid course, then obviously online teaching will help you. But offline, I don't know much about offline. I guess it will be costlier than online coaching classes. So yes. Mm,
You
okay,
can
for
reach to Ronak. We will share his LinkedIn profile, Insta profile.
yeah, sure. You will connect with me, and you can have my ID as well. So yeah, are online courses sufficient like Coursera and Udemy, or do I have to go for offline tutorial? I guess Coursera is sufficient, or you can say, if you want to have a project with you, in hand project, a proper guidance of how projects are made, of how the languages can be useful for you. So you can have a proper course, or you can buy your course, as well as you can have a free course, a demo course, to understand, like, yeah, this guy is teaching me like this, so if I take his paid course, I will be benefited with that. So yes, you can search for online courses on Coursera and Udemy. So yes. Or yeah, this is also library to make. Yes, exactly, Tushar. How to upload a website online? Hmm. Upload a website?
He meant to say
It's like,
host.
डिप्लॉय डिप्लॉय में नहीं है उसका
hmm?
होस्ट करने
डिप्लॉय
की बात करना है.
होस्ट करना है ना?
Yes,
हाँ हाँ
exactly.
डिप्लॉयमेंट है एग्जैक्टली
अच्छा, डिप्लॉयमेंट. तो डिप्लॉय करना है, तो यू कैन यूज गिटहब फॉर दैट. गिटहब से, है ना, गिटहब में अपना पूरा जो कोड बेस है, उसको, अपना रिपोजिटरी को, अपना जो भी फोल्डर्स है, वो सारी गिटहब में डाल दो, एंड गिटहब में ऑप्शंस आता है, यू कैन डिप्लॉय इट फॉर फ्री. सो every your website will get hosted for free in GitHub. And if you want to host it for like professional work, मतलब कोई प्रोफेशनल कामों के लिए अगर तुम उसको होस्ट करना चाहते हो, so you can use godaddy.com and all other sites which host online, right? एग्जैक्टली, नेटलीफाई के थ्रू भी कर सकते हैं, roku ऐप. यस, एग्जैक्टली. Any more questions, guys? And I see, yes, it was so informative. Okay, thank you, Purnima. And okay, so I guess, yeah, no one has more doubts, right? Please insist have informative session in future. Yes, we'll make sure, Vishnu. Thank thank you guys as well for having conducting like for having this conducted so smoothly, right? uh, you conducted quiz, right? That was the thing which interacted uh, through which you interacted with these guys, and I found that really good. And yes, and to all the participants who were present and those who are left, who left early on, so I would like to I'm glad like just you are with us till the end, because most people find sessions boring and they just leave in the mid, right? So you are here for, I guess, 2 hours, if I'm not wrong. And
Yes, yes.
thanks a lot for having such patience and bearing with us. Like, it means a lot to us for seeing this.
We will be bringing these kinds of sessions more and more on our platform with the help of GFG and our beloved seniors like Ronak Bhia and Tushar Bhia. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us in this session. We will see you next time. And your
Thank you,
certificates will
guys.
be shared with you soon on your mail. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You were a great attendees. Nice to meet you guys. See you again. Good night, guys. Bye. You can leave now.